peace of mind knowing what's coming next when you're listening. Turn off shuffle to tune into playlists and albums from start to finish.
This is the story of how I stopped streaming music and started owning it again. I still remember the first time I downloaded Spotify, and it wasn't even my idea. My friends basically peer pressured me into it.
Just Spotify, bro. I'll share you my playlist.
What's Spotify? And eventually, like everybody else does, I gave in. And I hate to say, I kind of liked it. Suddenly, it felt like I had every song ever made in my pocket. Original artists, full albums, artists I've never even heard of. Everything just there, and it was free. No CD, no downloads, no MP3 bullshit, just tap and play. And it was that simple. I felt like I had unlocked some secret music vault on the internet, and before I even realized it, I was hooked. At the beginning, the ads felt kind of fair. Out here one every few songs, and didn't really mean much. Well, they gotta make money somehow. It's a free software. And it was a small trade-off of having the entire world's library in your pocket, like entire world's music library in your pocket, and they're asking like a small ad break. It's fine. Slowly but surely, things start to change. There's a term going around called the enshittification of the internet. That's when user-friendly services stop being user-friendly and start being more investor-friendly, if you know what I mean. The ads got more frequent, more louder, more intrusive. And the app that once felt like an open music playground suddenly became this shopping mall where every corner someone was trying to sell me something. Then the algorithm kicked in and suddenly my music was no longer mine anymore. It was playlists I did not ask for, recommendations I did not trust, and banners that constantly reminded me that my experience would be better if I just paid. And everything stopped feeling like a free service and started feeling like a free demo. I wasn't the listener anymore. I was a customer being, gently, repeatedly, and sometimes aggressively nudged towards a subscription. Over time, my music taste didn't feel like mine anymore. The algorithms weren't helping me discover music. They were just shaping what I thought I liked. And instead of exploring, I was being nudged towards the same sounds, same artists, same safe recommendations. And it was marketed as infinite freedom, but it started to feel like guided consumption. I couldn't take it, so I deleted Spotify. But then Spotify is a toxic relationship. You hate it, but then few hours back you're coming back to it because you have hours of playlists you've made, and also people around were like sharing their Spotify Wrapped and everything, which I almost fell for. It's good marketing from Spotify, but nice try. So what's a good Spotify alternative? So I searched for other streaming sites other than Spotify. I tried other streaming sites, but everything else was a dumb subscription. And the subscription fatigue was real. I also tried these so-called free versions of apps and these so-called free alternatives to Spotify, but everything was either a glitchy mess or didn't have enough catalog of music or were just very sketchy. So what did I do after deleting every single streaming app from my phone? I did the most unexpected thing possible. I went backwards. I dug through my attic and found this old cassette player, the kind that looked straight out of the Walkman era. Dusty, slightly scratched, but still intact. And for some reason, I thought, just why not? Compared to the ad-stuffed playlists and endless scrolling, this little brick of plastic suddenly felt refreshing. I cleaned it up, fixed a couple of loose screws and loose bits, popped in fresh batteries, and it worked. And the best part? It's Japanese made, which in my head automatically translates to this thing will outlive me. And even my grandma loves it. Sliding a cassette in and pressing play felt weirdly nostalgic. And even it had built-in radio. I started tuning in through stations, 94.3, 93.5 and all these other local frequencies that I hadn't listened to in years. It was chaotic, a little static and random at times, but it felt magical. You didn't choose the song. The moment chose you. It felt nostalgic in a way. I wasn't just listening to music anymore. I was tuning into it. Of course, going back to physical media isn't all aesthetic vibes and nostalgia. There's a very real and a very practical problem that hits you almost immediately. It's storage. Because the moment you switch from digital to physical, music stops being invisible. On streaming apps, your entire library lives on the cloud, weightless, silent, tucked away, somewhere you would never have to think about. You can have 10,000 songs and they would occupy almost zero space. Whereas cassettes, they don't work that way. Cassettes are things. They stack up, they require space, they require real estate. They need shelves, boxes, corners of your desk you swore you'd keep clean. If you even slightly are obsessed with music like I am, that turns out to be a real estate problem. One tape becomes five, five become 20, and suddenly you're rearranging furniture just to make space for your hobby. In a cramped room like mine, every album is a real estate decision. You are not just collecting songs, you're collecting objects. Like digital files, you can't just archive them with a click. Now's the obvious question. Okay, physical media is cool, but where am I supposed to keep all of this? Drawers were filling up, and my already crammed room was starting to look like a tiny music archive. To solve the storage problem, I went straight back to the goated era, which is where I'm from, the early 2000s. I bought back the MP3 player, or popularly known as the iPod. This is not an iPod, this is more like a distant cousin. This is like a new age MP3 player. It's called the Audiocular MP3 player. I just saw it down my local shop and thought I'd get it. It was cheap and had like really good specs. This MP3 player has about 32 GB of internal storage. It has a 48-hour battery life. It supports both Bluetooth and wired connection. It has a C port and a jack, which you don't see that much often in today's technology. I missed the audio jack, and I definitely gonna put some wired headphones in there and vibe with it. This is what we used to carry around before streaming got popular. You would plug this into the computer and drag the MP3 files into the folders, and that was it. No ads, no subscriptions, no pop-up ads asking you to upgrade your experience. It just worked. It did its job and shut up about it. Coming back to these feel like a comeback story, because these players are powerful. They can store your entire music library, and they're smaller than a deck of cards. It's smaller. Like, look at that size. The one issue, you gotta make your playlists and your music manually. That's where passion comes into play. I remember the old routine, downloading zip files full of songs, unzipping them, hoping they didn't have any viruses. Tracks would be all over the place, out of order, album cover art missing, the names looking like keyboard smashes, and you had to listen through the songs to actually, you're like, okay, that's the song, okay, rename the song, change the cover art, and actually, make it all better. It was work, yeah, but also passion. You weren't just consuming music, you were curating it, building your own little digital store, one folder at a time. And I got all my artists here, I got 21 Pilots, I got Linkin Park, I got Tame Impala, I got Black Sabbath, I got Metallica and Gorillaz. I mean, all my favorite artists are here. I don't need to use a streaming app ever again, because it's all here. No internet, no ads, no algorithms. My music exactly how I choose it. Another unexpected thing happened once I started using the MP3 player. My screen time just drastically reduced. Because before I used to use music streaming apps, I would open the music and I'd play, and then one notification, one message, one reel, and 40 minutes later, I'm not even listening to music. I'm just doing something else. But it has completely changed the game. 60% of my screen time has gone, has just reduced to atoms. It shows how much streaming has taken away from us, because music used to be this hobby people were passionate about. They used to curate music, make their own mixtapes, actually engage with each other, and that's how we used to discover music. But then now it's just algorithms doing things for you and AI generated music, which is, I'm totally against it. Sometimes I think the future isn't about moving forward, it's about picking the parts of the past that's actually made life and music fun in the first place. And I think that's what we have to work for.